What's up, everybody? It's Jay here with Traveland RV, and today I have a very nice surprise for you. We just got our first 2024 Entegra Launch, and I can't wait to show you some of the new features that they've added. Starting off, let's talk about Mercedes. This is the new Sprinter all-wheel drive platform. This is a 2-liter twin-turbo engine. It's putting out more horsepower, more torque, and apparently better fuel mileage than the previous 3-liter. With the 9-speed transmission. This is the same style of all-wheel drive transmission you'll get in something like a GLE. This is the 188-inch wheelbase, so it'll be about 16 and a half feet long. It's 6 feet, 10 inches wide, and one of the things I like about the Launch is these bump-out inserts on the sides. This is so that you can sleep lengthways, so this way in the coach as opposed to this way, which is going to give you more space up in the front. Typically the Sprinter's a little bit narrow to sleep that way, so those little flare-outs give somebody my height around 6 feet, 6'1", just enough room. From the ground to the top of the roof rack is 10 feet 1 inches, so it's not the tallest there is. And inside you're looking at 6 feet 2 inches, so for a guy like me, I'm just under 6'2". It's just the right height. So let's talk about some basic things. One of the biggest things I like about this is the upgraded suspension. So you can see in here, that's a Koni shock frequency selective dampening. So it'll stiffen up on a gradual turn, loosen up on some rougher roads. On the back, you also have Koni shocks, but they've also gone the extra mile. And if you can see right here, that stabilizer bar is much bigger. The standard stabilizer bar is hollow. This one's also solid, so it's going to give you a lot more stability when you're rolling down the road. You can see that light bar up there. It's beautiful, but what I really like is the diffuser. And what that's going to do is it's going to eliminate the whistling sounds that you might get off of that light bar. Then you have your power awning. This has a seismic sensor as well, so if it gets a bit windy and you don't catch it in time, it will retract itself. Down below you have a nice running board. If you look under the mirror, you do have cameras on the front, back, and sides that gives you the full 360. On the front you have a wide angle lens, a narrow angle lens. On the back you have wide and narrow, as well as a lens that points at your trailer hitch if you're planning on towing. Speaking of towing, here on the back you do have a 5,000 pound hitch with 500 pounds of tongue weight. So a couple of e-bikes or a small trailer, maybe a jet ski or a little boat. Right there is where you keep your sewer hose, and you've got this nice roof ladder. Now, this ladder is where it's stored. You don't actually climb it from this position. Climb it, you remove it from there, and you bring it over to the side right here. Well, let's go up and see what's up there. So up here on the roof, it's pretty frosty. It's about -8 today here in Calgary. You have 4 50-watt solar panels, and this is all new for 2024. This is a Starlink satellite dish. So once you put in your subscription, you'll have full internet anywhere as long as you can see the sky. Over there is your 48-volt air conditioner, and you can see roof racks all the way across if you want to carry some additional gear up here. Over here on the backside, let's check this out. This is your 5-gallon cassette toilet. Wherever you are, if you can dump sanitary waste, you can dump that. No need to go wait in line at a sanitary dump station. Down below, you've got these blacked out wheels with KO2 tires, very nice for off-roading. If you have city water connections, that will go here. 30 amp service goes here. And this is a port for additional solar panels. This actually comes with, on top of the 200 watts on the roof, another 300 watt solar blanket that you can plug in right there. Okay, now let's get to the good stuff. Let's check out the inside. So before we come in, right down here, you've got a power battery disconnect and your awning controls. All of your low point drains and a receptacle here to plug in your induction cooktop when you want to cook outside at your outside table. I like it. Right here by the door, you have the 3 cubic foot fridge and freezer. Great place to keep a few drinks when you're at camp and hanging outside. And this is great, this insect screen. This will just roll down, and there's a magnet that connects right here so you can get in and out to keep the pesky bugs out of here. So here in the cab, you have the premium fully loaded Mercedes chassis. You've got the smart steering wheel with controls, the 10.5-inch M-Bucks media center. The driver and passenger seats will also swivel. So combined with these two jump seats, you can actually create a bit of a lounge, hangout space, play some games, eat a meal. These jump seats are actually pretty nice. You've got shoulder harnesses. They will tilt and recline. They'll slide back and forth, and they'll slide apart. One problem with this segment is these back seats are always a little too close together for any grown-ups. This is going to help a lot with that. Here's another nice little change for 2024, the Certificate of Quality Excellence. So every single one of these units gets their own PDI, pre-delivery inspection, before they leave the factory to the dealership. Typically, most manufacturers in the past have relied on the dealers to do their PDIs, but these guys have really stepped up. They built a brand new huge building near the factory where they're PDIing all these units before they get to us. Now for controls, you have the Firefly system here with light controls, water controls, generator controls, all that good stuff. Speaking of generator, this doesn't actually have a generator because it has a massive 10 kilowatt, 48 volt battery system with a second 48 volt alternator built into the engine. So this is now your generator. One new feature for 2024 is auto engine start and high idle. This is only prep. You're gonna have to actually get this installed if you want it. But all the software is there. So if you want it, you could set it up where whenever the battery voltage gets low, the vehicle will automatically start and work as your generator. That's a really cool feature. I have not seen that before. This is the controls for your 17,000 BTU hydronic heating system. This runs off the diesel in your engine. This is where you turn on your 3,000 watt inverter, 3,500 watt inverter. And up here in this cabinet, your battery reset. This is a second solar system dedicated to the chassis. It's a slow charge, low wattage system, but it's nice if it's in storage. You're always gonna have a bit of a charge going to that chassis battery. So if you haven't used it for a few months, you're not gonna have to worry about this being dead and needing a boost. Okay, let's take a look at this galley. Some things I really like about this galley in this segment. The number one, there's never enough counter space. You've got this really convenient counter extension right here. So that's gonna give you just a little bit more prep space. You could set up your cooktop here, use this section for prepping, this section for washing. I think it's a really smart innovation, and that just tucks back in to give you a little bit more space and make it easier to get in and out. Above the sink, you have some storage. I like that they put carpet in here. This is gonna keep your items from moving around and getting scratched. It also helps with insulation and sound. We've got more storage over here. And this is your JBL Flip Bluetooth speaker that will mount right here. So no, cheap speakers built into the roof. They're just giving you a really good quality Bluetooth speaker to go with. Speaking of counter extension, more counter extension here. This is actually a cutting board material. And then you have some storage underneath there. With these little vans, you really got to be smart about how you set them up to maximize every little bit of space. More storage here is your outside shower, your induction cooktop. And below the sink, you've got 4 drawers. Then coming over to the washroom, 2 doors, open it up like this. This actually closes off the bedroom area. Then in here, you've got a wet bath. If you're not gonna use it as a bathroom, this makes a great storage area, even for wet items that you need to drain. Let's say you're fly fishing or paddle boarding and you've got wetsuits and wet things. You can store them all in here and they can dry out. You've got a wire here for hanging. So if you need to hang up your towels or some other wet gear, just like smart little solutions. If you take all of this out, you do have your toilet here and you can move it around for however you want to be seated. If you can't fit this way, you can kind of hang out here into the hallway. I did mention this outside. This is a 300 watt solar blanket. So you're going to have a total of 500 watts of solar power on this little coach. That is just a lot of power. Now let's check out the bed. This is your Euroloft system. So this bed is on an elevator, up and down nice and easy. And this has got a 750 pound weight capacity. So 2 adults, no problem. You don't have to worry about anything. And there you go. So you have a decent sized bed here. This is a dual paned acrylic window that will open up to give you some fresh air with blackout blinds and insect screens built right in. But yeah, for a small little 16.5-foot van, this is a great size sleeping area. Now you can lift that back up and we can talk about this garage. You've got 2 L-track tie-down systems here. So if you're bringing along paddle boards, bicycles, e-bikes, just boxes of gear, fly fishing material, photography material, this garage is going to offer plenty of space. Some people use this as a daily driver. And I mean, you could move furniture with this thing if you need to. Underneath the bed, you do have 2 storage pockets tucked away up there. You know, that could be just a little bit more kit, a little bit more gear. Let's have a look at that garage from the back. There we go. So, like I say, very spacious. You can fit a lot of gear in there. Behind this piece here, this is going to be your water. You've got some receptacles here, your plumbing station's right here. And behind this is your power station. So you're going to have that 48 volt, 10,000 watt battery, 10 kilowatts is going to be back here, plus your inverter and some electrical. Got a heat duct right here for that Timberline hydronic system, some more receptacles over here. And actually I like this panel. So when you're in bed, you can turn off your lights, bring in your awning, all from right here when you're in bed, just in case you forgot. So there it is, the 2024 Entegra Launch all-wheel drive. It's got a new engine, a new transmission, a new 4-wheel drive system, all the bells and whistles that Mercedes has to offer, all the power you could ever need. So if you're into off-road adventure, this could be a rig for you. Whether it's just a couple, kids, friends, these booster seats are gonna help a lot with people hauling. And the nice thing is, at 19.5 feet, you could park this downtown, you could park it at a restaurant, you could go on some serious journeys. But I wanna know what you think. Did they nail it? Did they use the size and the space to the best of their ability? With a starting price of $247,567 US, did they make the best use of that money? Let me know in the comments, and if you like this kind of content, subscribe, hit the bell, and all the other stuff. Other than that, have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in the next one.